My name is Connie Skellinger. I am the president of Calistoga Cat Action Team of Napa, Sonoma, and our primary mission is to relocate feral cats. Feral cats in the valley and Lake County, there's quite a few, and our other mission is to spay and neuter all cats, home cats and or feral cats, but feral cats are our primary because they are released back to their colonies and we don't want them to multiply. And it's a problem in Napa Valley, and it is a bigger problem in Lake County. And CCAT has made a commitment to pay for a spay neuter for anyone in either Napa or Lake County. We just need to get it done. No shopping around. Find your vet that you want, have them call me, and CCAT will pay for their spay and neuter. CCAT started actually before me, and our beloved Kristen Casey passed away from a very traumatic car accident, and I took it over in 2016 and took it a different direction than where it was going. Kristen did a lot of spay and neuter and adoptions. I took it in the direction of spay, neuter, ferals, and finding homes for ferals via barn relocation, whether it be large properties, estates, wineries, even some residential areas are great for ferals. And not all feral colonies are a safe place for cats to be. Many things can happen. People do go out and shoot cats, believe it or not. So if it's unsafe where they are, then they must be trapped and provided another home. The people that reach out to me normally have rodent problems. I just reached out to a couple of what I say adoptees that it's been about a year since I delivered the cats, and checking in and wanting to know how they were and how they are doing. And they both said they're doing fabulous. And one's a very large estate in Oakville, and the cats have actually become friendly to Murphy the dog that is a residence there. And so these are people that actually care about the cats. They need to care that they are there, and they take care of them, they feed them, make sure they have the shelter that they need in the winter time. That's important because it's cold here and rainy. You just don't throw them out and say, okay, cat, go ahead and eat a rodent for me. They must be cared for. So there is that human part of it that's got to happen to make it a success. I work with Marin Friends of Ferals. They have more people power than I do, so they do a lot of trapping in Napa, in Marin, a Bay Area like Oakland. So when I find a customer that is requesting to have feral cats that live outside, I reach out to Marin Friends of Ferals. And the cats are already vetted and ready to go, vaccinated, microchipped, ear-tipped, tested. The biggest expense of it all is the spay and neutering, and that really is important. The problem I would like to have is not enough feral cats to go into the barn relocation program. The more we spay and neuter, the less cats there are roaming around in these colonies. When the cats come to me, or I pick them up from Marin Friends of Ferals and transport them home, they stay with me in a barn relocation cage for observation. And if it's in the summer, I provide them ice packs and a misting fan to keep them cool. Cats like to get up and move around and cool down in different places, so I provide that for them, and I care for them for maybe 5 to 10 days they're with me. And once I feel like they've adjusted from being in a shelter for maybe a month, they appear to be ready to go to their new adoptee. And I'd like to see their personalities. Some are very young, some are older and mature and just don't want to be around humans. The younger ones are curious about humans, but really don't want to be touched. So once I've established that they're ready to go to their new adoptee, their new home, I put them into their transfer cages, which is not always easy, but they're put into transfer cages and removed from my barn relocation cage, and I transport them to their new adoptee, which could be a winery, a large estate, and they then reside in that cage. But prior to that, which I've kind of skipped over, is I do site visits because I need to talk to the new adoptee and I need to see the property and where the cats are going to transition, and that's most important. Well, I was feeding cat colonies before I started doing barn relocations, and you become attached to these cats at these colonies. And some of the colonies were okay, an okay place, but not necessarily the best place. So starting the barn relocation program helped me find better homes or better places for feral cats to reside and have a steady caretaker and a better life. It's kind of like a calling or a ministry for me, and I didn't know that in the beginning because suddenly I had accepted CCAT to take it on and make it a nonprofit, and I wasn't really sure what direction I was going in until I became friends with Forgotten Felines in Santa Rosa, and they do barn relocations. And so that's where I learned to do barn relocations. And once I started advertising and talking to people about barn relocations, it really took off. And it was clear to me that that was my calling and that is my ministry and is saving cats one cat at a time. We are having this fundraiser to continue on having funds available for spay-neuter. It can range from anywhere from $200 to $400 per cat. And if you have a colony that has 15 or more cats in the colony, well, you can do the math. It's very expensive to have cats spayed and neuter, especially when you are going to your favorite vet, or you find an appointment and you do it and just forget about how much it's going to cost. We just have to do it. And so we need to keep fundraising to keep the monies flowing for all of this spay and neuter. Well, without the donors, this is not possible. And the donors are so important to this program. And I thank them from the bottom of my paw and the cat's paws, because we must have donors and volunteers to help with cleaning of cages, transportation, even some minor trapping. You can't do it by yourself, and it's not a glamorous job. You know, you got to be able to get down and get dirty, and that's what it's all about. And I've met some really, really terrific trappers in my time, and boy, they really do get down and dirty. They do recon at night. They'll take night vision goggles with them just to find these cats and trap them. So it's really important that we go that extra mile. And again, without our donors, there's no CCAT. And so far, the fabulous donors that we have now have kept us afloat. And even through COVID, that really did help. So we want to keep that going, and we want to keep the commitment going. Spay, neutering in Lake County, they so need help, and CCAT wants to step up and help.